taking time out of your schedule for coming here. Love you in the Upshaws. Let's talk about that first and foremost. Regina Upshaw, she got a lot to deal with.
Oh, she's so
She got a lot to deal with.
Yes, she does. She has a lot to deal with, a lot to navigate through, some old stuff that she's now finding out is not as old as she thinks, new stuff that just never seems to quite heal. So she's got a lot going on, absolutely. It's a joy to play her, absolutely.
Well, you know what? You guys seem like you have such great chemistry. Wanda Sykes, Mike Epps, yourself, the rest of the cast members. Just talking with them previously, just saying how much of a joy it is to be on set, and you guys really radiate that chemistry that you have on set that goes out to the television screens. What is that like working with them?
I have to say I feel like I've hit the cast chemistry lotto again. Like this is my third time, between Facts of Life, Living Single, and now the Upshaws, and certainly everything I've done in between. But for those shows, they're almost becoming. This is becoming another staple, and so in that regard, Mike and Wanda are just. It's a dynamic duo, and what I really love is that while their foundation is stand up, they've done so much. Their body of work as actors is so strong, and they're so dedicated to the craft of acting as well. And that's important to me as an actor. I'm not a stand-up, and so that's really important. And they have that passion for it.
Well, talking to previous co-hosts that you've been a part of, they say you the Phil Jackson of acting coaching. You would let them know where to stand, like you did with me just now. You would let them know what they need to say, how they need to say it. Where does that come from? Where does that training come from? We come from I know your mom. You and your mom were really close early on in your career. How much did that help you having your mom there and having her coach you as well?
Mom coached me just a little bit. She was not a momager and a coach and all that. She really was a parent, but I had her support always. I never felt like a competitor. But having her support was just great. But I grew up as a crew baby, so always finding my light. So it's not so much I told you where to stand. I just knew I was going to find my camera.
Well, see, you helped me out, so that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be a student today.
But I appreciate that people have that regard or that perspective of me, especially as a director. So if that's the vibe, I'll take it.
Now we're part of one of my favorite shows. I think one of the greatest shows on television in Living Single. 6 black folks that were successful in their own ways on a major network. What was that experience like working every day? And then I have a follow-up question with that with your character, Regine.
Yeah. Well, working again, the cast chemistry lotto, working, we were fans of each other's before we met each other. And then we met each other, an instant love fest. That still goes on to this day. So it was very wonderful to work with the five of them and the 6 with Yvette, because again everybody was dedicated to the craft. Everybody, we weren't trying to make a great black show, trying to make a great show, and in the process, that's what happened. We weren't trying to make a great female show, just trying to make a great show. And so with that, it was just, you don't know that it's going to do what it did because you're in it at the time. But we did know that every day was magic for us. Absolutely.
Now, lastly, I felt and a lot of fans felt like, especially that last season, we kind of got a little cheated because I know there was some things going on behind the scenes, and we never found out what happened with Regine and her millionaire. So was that something that you had a part of as far as leaving the show, or was that something like with the producers or the executives?
Right. Everything was a mutual decision in terms of the final season. You just get to that place and that space where even though a check is great, I started out as a child and continue in this because I have such a passion and such a fire for what I do. And so anytime it starts to shift to, it's not as what it was, and even though there's change and things like that, it just wasn't in the same space. And so you want to be able to make sure that you move and move forward, not move on, but move forward at a time when it still makes sense, for yourself as the artist, for the show and things like that. So it was just one of those things where mutually it was a matter of, let's make these let's make these moves.
Absolutely. Lastly, will we ever see a Living Single reboot or maybe a updated version, kind of like we see with Bel Air and so many other shows that have come out in this day and age?
Yeah. Never say never. We've certainly talked about it extensively on the thread that the six of us have with Yvette. We've talked about it a great deal. We certainly know that the appetite is there. Thank God, first of all, everybody is working and busy.
Right.
So that's one of the main things is we can't seem to get it together to fit schedule-wise. But also, you can't just, throw it together.
Right.
It has to really be crafted well. And so we'd rather people stay in love with what has been as opposed to being upset with us for what is currently.
Gotcha. Okay, well, you know what? It has been, again, an honor and a pleasure. Watch you on Facts of Life, Living Single. Now we got you on the Upshaws. Really appreciate what you've done for our culture and just what you've been able to propel, whether it's production, direction, whatever it may be, and continued success. Looking forward to another season of Upshaws, too.
Me too. Many, many more. Thank you.